took me 3 days to watch. Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video, I'm going to review The Place Beyond the Pines. Now, as you heard, this took me 3 days to watch. Why? Because of this video game I'm playing, The Last of Us. I'm like addicted to this game, so every time I'm watching a movie, I always get addicted to this and it ends up distracting me. So if you guys want to get this game, highly recommend it. It's really good, but it's probably going to take over your life. Okay, so I did finish the movie last night, and I actually was really looking forward to this. Why? Because I heard from a couple YouTubers, mainly Chris Stuckman. Shout out to him if you're watching this. He probably won't watch this, but in case he watches, he recommended this movie, so he said it's probably going to be like Oscar consideration and all this stuff, so I was definitely looking forward to it after that. And I heard that there were some really great things about it, especially after looking at the cast. Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper was just nominated for an Oscar in Silver Linings Playbook, so obviously I was looking forward to it. And as it turns out, is The Place Beyond the Pines Oscar worthy? Absolutely. The Place Beyond the Pines is one of the best movies of the year so far. I love this movie. I thought it was really, really good, and I definitely really enjoyed it. And one of the things I really enjoyed was that the whole message of the movie is bad decision making. All the characters make really bad decisions that they shouldn't have made, and we will get to that, but first of all, let's talk about the plot. The plot's a little confusing. You basically have three stories in one. So let's just get to it. The first half of the movie is Ryan Gosling. Basically, this is Ryan Gosling's story. Ryan Gosling is this motorcycle stunt performer. He's a very good performer. He does all sorts of tricks. When he's in the motorcycle, you see he has all these tattoos and all this stuff. He's not exactly a great person, but he's very good at what he does. And anyways, he goes up to meet Eva Mendes, who is his ex-girlfriend, and he basically finds out that they had a son together that he didn't know about. And he, of course, isn't exactly in shape to be a father, so he wants to try to provide for his son. He wants to give his son a really good life, so he starts robbing banks, basically, and he ends up being chased down by Bradley Cooper's character, Avery Cross, who's just this really good cop, and he really wants to become a lieutenant officer, but his boss basically says, you have to prove to me that you can do that, and something bad happens. I'll tell you guys what happens in the spoilers, but something bad happens basically between Ryan Gosling and Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper makes a really bad decision that haunts him for the rest of his life, and then 15 years later, 15 years later, we won't get to that, but that's basically the plot of the movie. It's all about how Bradley Cooper makes this really bad decision, so does Ryan Gosling, that haunts both of them for the rest of their life, and that's basically the plot. And that right there is just a great plot on the bad decision making, and it's sort of like a message. I think some teenagers need to watch this movie because, the third half of the movie has to do with two kids, and I'm not going to say what they do until we get to spoilers, but basically, they have gotten into drugs. They've gotten into really bad drug problems, ecstasy, all these kinds of drugs, and, Dane DeHaan is starting to get into drugs by his friend Emery Cohen, and they're starting to get each other into drugs and having wild parties and stuff like that, so that's basically what the plot is. It's all people making bad decisions. And I think part of the reason the movie's so good, not just because of the plot, but the plot is so good because of the performances. Let's just get to the performances. First of all, Ryan Gosling, I have never seen Drive. You guys are going to hate me for this, but I've never seen Drive. I've never seen any movie with Ryan Gosling. No movies at all. I want to see Drive, but every time I watch it, I stop watching it for some reason. I just never seen Drive. But this was my first movie seeing Ryan Gosling. When I think of him, I thought he was pretty good. Problem is, I'll get in the spoilers. I'm just going to tell you guys, he's not in the movie as much as you think. They make him look like the main star. Bradley Cooper really is the main actor in this movie. Ryan Gosling, should he get nominated for an Oscar? I'd say no, because he's not in the movie a lot, and it's not like an amazing performance. I thought the best scenes were the bank heist scenes. The bank heist scenes, he was incredible in those scenes. I thought he did a really good job in the bank heist scenes and some of the other scenes, but overall, I thought he was pretty good. He wasn't amazing. In my opinion, Bradley Cooper did the best in this movie. He was really amazing. The reason is because when you see Bradley Cooper in this movie, you don't think of him as Bradley Cooper. You really think of him as this really good cop who wants to be part of this lieutenant officer, and he really was great in this movie, and I think it's his best performance so far. Silver Linings Playbook, awesome. But Jennifer Lawrence, I think, stole that movie for him, because he was great in that movie, but Jennifer Lawrence, I think, stole it. This movie, no, he was the best in this movie. He needs to get nominated for an Oscar. He was so good in this movie. As far as Eva Mendes and all of them, they were fine. Ray Liotta was fine too. He had some really good lines, but the other person I need to mention are the two teenage boys, Emery Cohen and Dane DeHaan. Emery Cohen, not so much. He was fine, you know. You guys know him as Leo from Smash. He's nothing amazing or anything. But I thought Dane DeHaan did a really amazing job in this movie. He was just, I didn't love the movie Chronicle, but I thought he was fantastic in this movie. As a troubled teenager, he was fantastic. So now I'm going to get to some of the spoilers for this movie. So if you have not seen Place Beyond the Pines, I recommend you don't watch the rest of this review. But I mean, some of you probably are, and you're not going to listen to me. But if you want to see this movie, don't watch the rest of the review. First of all, we have to talk about how Ryan Gosling ended up getting killed in the first 40 minutes of the movie. This is not what I expected to happen. I expected Ryan Gosling to be the main star of the movie, but I didn't realize that he was going to get killed in the movie, and that Bradley Cooper was going to be the one who killed him, and then he made a really bad decision. I didn't really know that's what this movie was about, and I thought that was fantastic. That whole scene with them, with him on the motorcycle and Bradley Cooper in the police car, and then they meet up in that tall building, and Ryan Gosling shoots Bradley Cooper in the leg, and Ryan Gosling falls out of that window. That was an amazing scene. I thought there was some amazing, the cinematography in this movie is really great too, as is the action. I think it should get nominated for Best Cinematography and Best Screenplay because they're really good. I didn't expect that to happen to him, and I thought that was a really amazing scene, and really something I didn't expect. No, you don't expect to have Ryan Gosling die, especially in the beginning. They make him look like the star. Now let's mainly talk about the third half of the movie. A lot of people had a problem with the last half of the movie with the two teenage boys. I didn't have a problem with it because it made perfect sense. Even though Bradley Cooper, you know, people thought of him as a hero, some people thought you killed an innocent man. Which, no, Ryan Gosling wasn't an innocent man, but, of course, he was the one that adopted Ryan Gosling's son, and Dane DeHaan basically looked up information all about Ryan Gosling and all this stuff, and he saw these newspaper articles, and, of course he got upset. I thought that was the best scene Bradley Cooper did, was the one at the end where he's like, I'm so sorry I killed your father, I feel so terrible about it, and he didn't actually mean for him to die. I think that's just amazing, but the thing is, he did it. There's nothing he can do about it. It's always going to stick with him for the rest of his life. But I did like how Bradley Cooper did end up being lieutenant officer like he wanted to be. I did like how he ended up, you know, getting what he wanted. He was really the hero of the movie, the one we're supposed to root for. Dane DeHaan, and then ended up going on the motorcycle just like his father did. I thought that was great how he followed his father's footsteps. I thought that was really good. So that's basically it. What else do I have to say about this movie? Let's see, the movie's 140 minutes. It's 2 hours and 21 minutes to be exact, but I was hooked the entire movie. It's not really a boring movie. I think it's one that a lot of people can relate to, and as I said, I think they should show this movie in schools because of all the drug problems going on and stuff like that. It definitely is a movie that should be going on in schools, especially with these are all kinds of things you hear about in school. Pregnancy, not married, and trying to provide for son, then shootings and school shootings, and then drugs. You know, all stuff you hear about in school, and this is definitely a movie that I think when they do things and stuff, they should show clips of this movie in schools because this really is a great movie. One of the best movies I've definitely seen this year. Everyone needs to check out this movie. Even the third half of the movie, in my opinion, was fine. I didn't have a problem with the third half of the movie. I didn't know why everyone did, but I really enjoyed this movie. So The Place Beyond the Pines is amazing. Okay, that's it for my review, The Place Beyond the Pines. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next video. Okay, bye!